But also, we not only want to welcome you here, we want to welcome part of our online family. And today's no different. We're going where? Fiji. How come? That's where Sheik is from, right? But anyway, that's right. So you're going, where in the world is that at? Well, hey, folks, it's right over here. We're the Motivated Walking Cow up there on the right. And, of course, she's on that little island there, also known as Fiji. Isn't it interesting? The days we live in with the technology, we could literally, every mountain, every island, every desert, we get to share God's truth. It's amazing. So you know what you're going to do on your best Fijianese. You could do it, man. Come on. Right? We're going to say a big old howdy ho to part of our online family. Ashika from Fiji, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, that was so tropical, I don't even know what to do. We'll just move on, apparently. But hey, also another announcement, Salt and Light Medical Center. Dr. V is in the office. His next time will be October 6th to the 10th. Consider being a part of that. The Christian medical practice that God had us start up at our expansion facility next door. 725-726-2364, accepting Medicare and Medicaid. Other insurance plans are getting ready to pop off as well, so consider that as well. Consider this week, she is in action. I saw her actually, believe it or not, at the airport. We were both heading to Vegas at the same time. Barbara, she's part of our team now at the Salt and Light Medical Center. She brings what? Deep tissue massage, neuromuscular therapy, full body massage, etc., etc. Why? Because there's ways to take care of your aches and pains without having to be drugged up for the rest of your life. And that's the whole premise. We're not here to jab you, stab you, or kill you. We actually want to help you. So consider that as 725-726-2364, or just Monday through Friday, head next door, and you can consider that as well. Tyndale, that's right, is starting up their next semester. You can go all the way from kindergarten with our homeschool that we have next door for free and be a part of that, or you can go all the way up to doctoral level through our satellite seminary campus next door, Tyndale. And speaking of which, Mr. Tyndale himself, John Hood, is the one who is heading that up. Yes, that's a picture from Norway. He went with us on the trip. And we went to this awesome Bible museum, the biggest Bible collection in Europe. And, of course, we had to get him up in the garb. And, of course, if he thought that I would never share that, he knows better now. But anyway, that's right. But very fitting as the one who heads up our seminary. So consider that as well. Hey, consider coming up super fast, folks, our second annual Three Amigos Bible Prophecy Conference. We just need you to register. It's free. We need you to go to the teaching website, getalifemedia.com, look for that, and then click on it so we can just have a head count to see if we're going to have to open up our expansion facility for the overflow. That is Saturday and Sunday, September 27th and 28th. And as we all know, there's nothing going on in the world that deals with Bible prophecy. And probably, yeah, exactly. We're going to deal with some of that today as well. But hey, consider that. Myself, Pastor Tom, and Pastor Brandon will be speaking God's truth as well. So, hey, we're going to have an offering this morning. If you want to partake in that, you are more than welcome to do so. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want him to miss his big debut, that's the guy you need to see. Mr. Tyndale himself, John Hood. That's right. All right. Now let's get to our offering. Hey, we're going to have an offering this morning. If you want to partake in that, you're more than welcome to do so. Just put it in one of the two offering boxes as we exit, or you could scan that code right there, or some of the codes around the sanctuary, or use the kiosk as well. If you're into text giving, you could use that number for text give, or you can just go to the appropriate website and click donate or give. Amen. You may be seated if you can, as we deal with, obviously, current events. What's going on? I kid you not. I had full plans of just marching forward with our Revelation study, all ready to go. I woke up yesterday morning, and God said, no. So I really felt, no, we got to deal with this. And because it started to dawn on me why this is important, spiritually and for our country. Number one, if you guys obviously can kind of tell by our countenances the last several days, it was a spiritual punch in the gut, right? Does it remind you of anything? It reminds me of this one, the last time we got punched in the gut, 9/11. And almost to the day, 24 years exactly, here comes another one. And what's the same response? A punch in the gut. The challenge there with Charlie Kirk was he wasn't just an American who was assassinated, he was a Christian. He was our brother and sister in Christ. A Christian was assassinated in the United States of America. That's a punch in the gut. Now, here's what I felt led to deal with. Two things. Number one, the spiritual aspect. 9/11. You guys remember where you were at 9/11? I do. I was pastoring a church in Northern California. And so I was pastoring there, and I tell you what, 9/11, it was the same kind of thing, spiritual punch in the gut. All that week leading up to that Sunday, man, what was the talk? Man, maybe this is it. Maybe America's finally going to humble themselves. Maybe we're going to finally get right with God. Maybe revival will break out, and God's going to do a great work. And sure enough, that first Sunday, maybe it happened where you were at. It did where we were at. The attendance doubled. It was, and we're like, hey, maybe finally this is going to be a wake-up call for America. Maybe finally we'll get back on track with Jesus Christ as a nation. The very next week, it went right back to where it was. It was a flash in the pan. So, folks, guess what? Here we are again. September 11th, it ended up being a flash in the pan, and now here we are with this. What are we going to do? That's my concern as your shepherd. This is horrible. This is a wake-up call. What are you going to do? We had a little bit of a brief wake-up call during the pandemic. Remember that? Right? And that one was sustained for a little bit. And mainly the reason why it was sustained was because they kept it up. They kept up the draconian measures, the lockdowns, the face masks, the vaccines, and all that stuff, saying we can't meet and all that stuff. And we doubled in size as a church. Our finances went through the roof. We were doing all kinds of things. We were standing up against tyranny. We were getting God's word out, and God blessed us and blessed us and blessed us. But the last year and a half, we're back to goofing off again. Our finances are in the toilet. Our attendance is up and down because things calmed down. And here we are again with Charlie Kirk. Now, not to be pessimistic, but this is what's on my heart. Guys, are we going to respond this time? Are we really going to take this serious? How many wake-up calls does God got to give us before we finally finish strong as the bride of Christ and stop playing games? Otherwise, what happened is a tragedy, and no good's going to come out of it. What I hope we truly respond this time spiritually as a church, as Christians across America. Let's get serious this time. More than just a week. And let's get out there, and as Charlie's wife has reiterated, let's get out there and be Christians. Let's get out there and make heaven crowded. That sounds biblical. It's because it is. That's what we're supposed to do. That's my concern. I would implore you, I would encourage you, I almost beg you, please, oh, please, Christian, don't go back to sleep. Wake up. And let's finish strong as the bride of Christ. Amen? The second thing I'm concerned about, talking about repeats, now if you go back again to 9/11, what happened after that event? Unfortunately, it was a flash in a pan spiritually. After a week, it all died down. But after that event, something happened. Something very un-American happened. They used that as an excuse to launch Homeland Security and the Patriot Act. Remember that? And there was nothing patriotic about it. That gave the government the legal ability to surveil American citizens, which is against the law, against the Constitution. And they keep renewing it. But that was a watershed moment. They used that tragedies to do something very un-American. Here's my concern. Are they going to do the same thing with this event? That the solution that they're going to come up with is going to be even more draconian than the Patriot Act and Homeland Security. But they're going to use this tragedy as the excuse that that's the only option. No, that's not the only option. You want to stop people from shooting people? You lead them to Jesus. Christians do not shoot people in the head. Right? We have the answer. That's the answer. It's not more draconian measures from the government. Now, here's the crazy thing. I kid you not, once again, God's got us ahead of the curve. Guess what we just happened to release 2 weeks ago? Our latest documentary called Trump and the Stargate Prophecies. And guess what we just happened to deal with on this aspect? A draconian system that they're waiting for the right excuse to be put into place. I encourage you, if you haven't got the study, check it out. You can scan that code, get it. We don't copyright our media. Get the DVDs, make 1 billion copies. We don't care. Let's get the truth out. And here's where the challenge is, folks. When you start saying anything about Trump, right, you get people going to one end of the spectrum or the other. As Christians, we're supposed to be truth tellers. We're supposed to tell the truth, right? Okay. So if we call out one administration, like we did for 4 years with Biden, if there's something going on prophetically or un-American in the current, why can't we talk about it? But see, that's not what's going on. What's happening in our country is it's become a lightning rod issue. If you say anything positive about Trump, you got one camp, and I'm talking professing Christians, who accuse you of being anti-Christian, brainwashed idiot who's drunk the Kool-Aid, and you voted for the Antichrist. What? But then you go the other hand, and if you say anything negative about Trump, you're accused of being anti-American, a leftist, liberal, communist traitor. And don't you dare say that because I'm on a 4-year vacation. No. And neither side wants to come to a biblical balance. And so that's what we deal with, and that's what we need to deal with. If we're going to finish strong, Christian, if we're going to respond to this event appropriately, then we need to get the gospel out. We need to stop beating each other up. We need to work together as Christians, knock it off, get out of the extreme, come back to the balancing point. Let's tell the truth, and most importantly, the truth about Jesus Christ. You want to make a difference in a country, it's getting the gospel out. It's not about beating each other up or acting like you don't need to do that. We need to work to make heaven crowded. Now, I want to share with you the concerns that we have with this Stargate program. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not saying he's doing this on purpose. I'm just saying, can we talk about this? But his very first day in office, he launched something, an AI Stargate program. And folks, I am very concerned about that. And I'm telling you, when we're done, you're going to see they're waiting for the right excuse to put it into play. And if they do that, it will be the most un-American thing ever done to us in the history of America. But let's take a look at what that program is.
It's my honor to welcome 3 of the world's leading technology CEOs. And together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate.
What if I told you that a single announcement has just set the stage for one of the most ambitious projects in human history? OpenAI, backed by tech giants like SoftBank, Oracle, and NVIDIA, has launched what they are calling the Stargate project. This initiative isn't just big, it's $500 billion big. That's $500 billion invested in creating a centralized AI infrastructure designed to unlock the potential of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. The announcement was made at the White House with President Trump, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, and SoftBank's Masayoshi Son standing shoulder to shoulder. Altman even called it the most important project of this era, while Son described it as the beginning of a golden age. This sets the tone for what OpenAI envisions as not just a technological leap, but a transformation in national security, healthcare, and economic growth. But what is the Stargate project, and why is it being compared to historical milestones like the Manhattan Project and the Apollo program?
That sounds like a pretty big program, pretty big historic program. Because it is, folks. It's a big deal. By the way, that middle guy there, the 3 guys he introduced, that middle guy there is Larry Ellison. We'll get to that in a second, towards the end of the study. And he is competing with Elon Musk to be the richest man in the world. Very, very powerful guy. Okay. But here's my point. Whether Trump realizes it or not, I'm not saying he wakes up every day, I'm doing this for the Antichrist. I'm not saying that. Come on. I'm just saying there's concerns with this because this is a $500 billion investment, the very first day in office, to take AI to the next level. And when you see what they're going to do with it, I believe it has everything to do with the book of Revelation and the big brother society that's going to happen in the 7-year tribulation. And you would think that would never happen to America. Folks, I'm telling you, they're waiting for the right excuse to put it into play, to dupe us like they did last time. But let's take a look at what that system is going to be like in the 7-year tribulation. That's not us. We're going to be out of here before that. But what's that society going to be like? And do we see the lead up to that is the whole point. Revelation 13, 11 through 17 is our opening text as we stand and read God's holy word. Revelation 13, of course, this is the classic passage dealing with the false prophet, the religious cohort who works with this global political figure called the Antichrist. And the Bible gives us massive great detail of what that is going to be like during that time frame. Not a good time frame, but let's take a look at some elements of what they do. Verse 13 or 11 says this, "Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. That's the false prophet, the dragon defined in Revelation 12 as Satan. These guys are satanically inspired. He exercised all authority of the first beast on his behalf, and he made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast whose fatal wound had been healed. And he performed great and miraculous signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of men. And because of these signs he was given power to do on behalf of the first beast, he deceived the inhabitants of the earth. And he ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And he was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, the Antichrist, so that it could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to what? To be killed. And then, on top of that, he also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on his right hand or his forehead. Why? So that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. You may be seated if you can, but basically, if you've been here at Sunrise for any time, we're familiar with this passage of Scripture. The infamous Revelation 13, what's going to happen? Midway point. Most people would say the 7-year tribulation, they are going to launch the mark of the beast system. This false prophet guy is going to dupe the whole world not only into worshiping the Antichrist, but it clearly says there that they're going to make, they're going to order, they're going to force, they're going to cause anybody who doesn't do what they say to do, including worshiping the beast, you will die. It's on a global basis. So here's my whole point. How is that going to happen? This is a big brother scenario on a global basis. And the reason why we say that is because break down the text. How else can you give out an order to the whole planet, because it's a global context? How are you going to give an order to the whole planet, to everyone simultaneously, to obey, worship the beast? And then on top of that, how are you going to know whether or not they actually obey the order? Anywhere in the world, everybody on the planet. And then if they don't obey, how are you going to know their exact location in order to take them out and kill them? This implies a big brother scenario on steroids, right? And here's the point. With the help of AI, for the first time in man's history, this system is now able to be put into play. And it's not just a theory. It's already being put into play. And here's my concern. Trump's Stargate program just put it on steroids. And some of it's already being put around us. We're getting warmed up to it for quite some time. And let me expose that to you and I. We don't even think twice about being monitored anymore. And the first place, believe it or not, is in our homes. They've convinced us under the guise of convenience that we have to have all these AI smart devices, because we all know how hard it is to turn on the lights, plug in that appliance, and 3 feet to adjust the thermostat. I can't take it anymore. I need AI devices to do it for me. Right? Watch this.
First, let's start with the Echo Dot. And don't let this small size fool you. This thing is extremely powerful, and this can run your entire smart home. What makes this really powerful is how it can link all of these items that I'm going to show you today together with over 50,000 plus Alexa skills and the daily routines that you can make with this. So I have a good morning routine. So when I say good morning, then it turns on my bedside lamp for me. It changes my smart thermostat temperature. It turns on all of my lights downstairs for me, and also opens up my blinds in my office so I can go ahead and start early. So all of that in one command. It's really powerful and convenient. These are so convenient to have throughout the house. I'm sure you'll be buying more than one. You can make anything smart that basically plugs into the wall. So you can have this plugged into your coffee machine in the morning as a part of your good morning routine to start brewing coffee right away when you first wake up. You can control Christmas trees with it, multiple lamps. You can even control popcorn machines, all kinds of stuff with this. So these are super convenient to have. I love them. This smart lock has all the features that you'll ever need. Of course, control the lock from anywhere in the world. You give keyless access through the app, give access to family members, and keep track of who's going in and out with the log of activity. There's a cool feature where it unlocks the door for you when you approach, so that is great. So if you have groceries or if you're carrying a big package in your arms, this is really convenient. And also automatically locks the door behind you as soon as you enter, so that's great for safety. And you can lock and unlock the door by voice command with Amazon Alexa. And you might think that's impractical, but just going to bed upstairs and not knowing if the doors are locked down here, you can just go ahead and ask Alexa. If it's not locked, then you can go ahead and lock it by voice. The person that's helping me shoot right now, John, he's away from his dog and he loves tech. So if that person sounds familiar, this is gonna be really good for you. So this is the Furbo Wi-Fi pet camera. And what John can do right now, even though he's away from his dog, he can check on his dog at any time with this big wide-angle HD camera. You can control it through the app from anywhere in the world.
How many times do you say that phrase? Anywhere in the world. Isn't that convenient? And that's not even counting the other smart devices you can have in your home, like a smart fan, smart vacuum, smart washer and dryer, smart speakers, smart doorbell, smart irrigation watering system, smart garage door opener, smart lawnmower, smart solar panels to charge, of course, your smart car and your smart home. And you can control it anywhere in the world. Isn't that great? No. And then on top of that, what else do you need for your home? You need AI to protect your home. You need one of those AI smart security systems that you don't even need to hire anybody anymore. You just pop them in, man, plug them in, you're good to go. Or one of those Ring doorbell devices that, again, you could check anywhere in the world. Aren't those great? But wait a second. People wouldn't hack into these systems and monitor us anywhere in the world, would they? Folks, it's been going on for a long time. Let me give you just one easy example. Watch this.
Let's talk about who's watching you. High-tech break and enter.
Attention, John and Peter. Your home is being hacked.
Homes are being transformed by so-called smart devices that promise to make things more convenient and more secure. It's automated control of everything, from our lights and locks to our TVs and temperature.
Alexa, set the thermostat to 23.
Okay.
Alexa, kitchen light on.
Okay.
In Canada alone, more than 100 million of these devices are now connected to the internet. We're traveling to a small town in southern Ontario to deliver some disturbing news. That's our Prius.
Is it?
A family who lives here is being watched by the whole world, and they don't know it. Here they are, renovating their front porch. And here again, sharing more intimate moments on the back deck. Captured by their own security cameras and broadcast over the internet for all to see. Anyone can keep an eye on their comings and goings. That's how we've tracked them down, through their license plate. You can even watch on their cameras as we arrive to alert them to what we found.
Not coming, already being done. Bingo. Anywhere in the world. So if these guys can do it, you think that fast forward to 7-year tribulation, the Antichrist, the false prophet, won't do it? They're going to know exactly what people are doing, what they're saying, whether or not they obey, and boy, we got snookered, didn't we? In fact, what's really interesting is Jesus talked about the people in the 7-year tribulation. And he warned them about something that I think has everything to do with what we're seeing here. This is Matthew 24, 15 through 19. So when you see standing in the holy place, Jesus said, the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand, then let those who are in Judea, what? Flee to the mountains. That's your only option. What you don't want to do is this. Let no one on the roof of his house go down to take anything out of the house, and let no one in the field go back to get his cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Jesus told the people in the 7-year tribulation not only what to do, your only option apparently is to flee to the wilderness, to the mountains. But he told them what not to do, and for some strange reason, he says, whatever you do during that time frame, the 7 years, don't you dare go back to your house. I wonder why. Maybe because, forget trying to hide out there. It's been turned into a Big Brother paradise. Let's go even further. Smart devices. Smart. Let me just clue you in on something. Anytime you see the word smart, supplant it with the word Big Brother. Because every single one of those things can be turned into and are being turned into Big Brother devices. So when you hear something like a smart home or smart lights or smart thermostat, it's Big Brother home, Big Brother lights, Big Brother thermostat, and on it goes. Including those devices that we all just have to have because, boy, aren't they convenient. Smart TVs. Smart? No, those wouldn't be a Big Brother TV, would they? Been going on for a long time. See, now you not only watch and listen to the TV, Your TV is now watching and listening to you. Not coming, folks. It's already being done, including by the CIA. Watch this.
Christmas is fast approaching. That means millions of people are going to be burning through their savings, lining up just to get their hands on the latest technology, completely oblivious to the fact that they are actually paying to have their private conversations recorded and shared with third parties. Take the new Samsung Smart TV. The amount of data that this thing collects is staggering.
Just say what you want.
Find us action adventure.
It logs where, when, how, and for how long you use the TV. It sets tracking cookies and beacons designed to detect when you have viewed particular content or a particular email message. It records the apps you use, the websites you visit, and how you interact with content. And it, of course, has a built-in camera and microphone with facial and voice recognition for your convenience. But Samsung's new global privacy policy for its line of smart TVs comes with a rather ominous warning. Please be aware that if your spoken words include personal or other sensitive information, that information will be among the data that's captured and transmitted to a third party. There's no need for the FBI to bug your living room. You'll do it yourself. In 2 years' time, the stuff that this Samsung TV can do will be old news.
What's wrong?
Let's say you're having a fight with your spouse in front of your television. Well, that camera and microphone that's been surreptitiously recording all of your private conversations and scanning your body language can now send that information to third-party advertisers so that they can air a perfectly timed commercial suggesting some SSRIs. In other words, don't say anything private in front of your television.
It also appears that U.S. and British intel agencies developed a way to take controls of televisions connected to the internet, making it appear the TV was off when in fact it was recording conversations in the room.
Could your TV be spying on you? Secret documents show how the CIA have turned TVs into bugging devices.
Did you know that? Did the guy tell you that in the store when you bought it? If you got it from Amazon, did they give a disclaimer? Hey, I'm just going to let you know, if you buy this, it's a Big Brother device. But it's happening. Let me give you another one. How is the Antichrist going to know where people are at? How is the Antichrist going to know whether or not people obey? Oh, we're not even done. There's a multitude of ways he can do it. Not just with your TV watching you, all these other AI home smart devices, but another one. I'm still surprised that people buy these things. AI home assistant devices, right? Because again, we all know how hard it is to walk over the computer and look something up, or push a button to play some music, or turn on those lights. I can't take it anymore. And what I'm talking about is those Amazon Echoes, Alexa, Google Home, all that stuff that everybody just has to have. They give them away for Christmas presents. You need to throw that thing in the trash. Because not coming, it's already being done. They're recording your conversations. Watch this.
My husband and I would randomly joke sometimes, like, I bet these devices are listening to what we're saying.
Until recently, Danielle's home was completely wired up in every room with the Amazon Echo. Her family used the Alexa app to do everything from turn up the heat to turn off the lights. But Danielle told us via Skype that 2 weeks ago, their love for Alexa changed with an alarming phone call.
The person on the other line said, unplug your Alexa devices right now.
That person was one of her husband's employees calling from Seattle.
We go around and unplug them all. He proceeded to tell us that he had received audio files, recordings from what was going on in our house.
Danielle says her Amazon device in her Portland home recorded a private conversation and sent that recording to a random contact, which happened to be the employee in Seattle.
At first, my husband was like, no, you didn't. And he's like, you're sat there talking about hardwood floors. And we're, oh gosh, you really did.
Danielle listened to the conversation, and she couldn't believe someone 176 miles away heard it too.
I felt invaded, like total privacy invasion. Like immediately I'm like, I'm never plugging that device in again.
And you need to throw it in the trash. Not a conspiracy theory. It's already happening. Man, we got duped. Why did Jesus say, whatever you do in the 7-year tribulation, in a time of concern, I'm telling you, your only option is you better get out in the wilderness. Don't even think about going back to your house. Why did he say that? Of all places. I think we're starting to see why. Let me give you another one. How's the Antichrist only going to know what people say and do, whether or not they obey the order? Well, I think it's getting pretty obvious. He'll know exactly what you do, how you respond. He'll even have it on video. But how is he going to know people's exact locations so when you don't obey, he knows exactly where you're at to take you out? Well, if you got it with you, go ahead and hold up the answer. And what's this called? Not just a phone, not just a cell phone. What is it? What's the word smart mean? This is the biggest Big Brother tracking device ever invented in the history of mankind. And talk about being duped, we pay for it. Or the government, if you notice, they want to make sure that everybody, if you can't afford it, gets one, including migrants and the homeless and kids. Everybody's got to have one. Why? Because it will not just listen like the Home Assistant devices. It can be turned on, and with the camera, it could watch you. And again, this is not a conspiracy theory. It's very easy to do, and it's happening all the time. Watch this.
Sometimes you know your phone has been hacked, but often you don't. We sat down with some of the world's best hackers who showed us just how easy it is for them to get access to everything on your phone. Is everything hackable?
Yes.
Everything?
Yes.
If somebody tells you you can't do it.
I don't believe it.
John Herring offered to prove it. So he gathered a group of ace hackers at our Las Vegas hotel. Each of them a specialist in cracking mobile devices.
How easy is it to break the phone right now?
Very easy.
As you've seen, pretty trivial.
So do I need to connect to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It started when we logged on to the hotel Wi-Fi. At least it looked like the hotel Wi-Fi. Herring had created a ghost version. It's called spoofing.
I mean, this looks legitimate.
It looks very legitimate. So you're connected?
I am.
And I have your email.
You have access to my email right now?
Yeah, it's coming through right now. I now have a ride-sharing application up here. All the information that's being transmitted, including your account ID, your mobile phone, which I just got the mobile number. Then more importantly, I have all the credit cards associated with that account.
Now, the hack that you just saw only took a matter of minutes, and I was fooled by that fake Wi-Fi. But in other demonstrations that we're going to show you on Sunday, the hackers were able to exploit a hole in the global cellular network and get into our phones, turn on our cameras, listen to us. All they needed for that was a phone number. With just the phone number, they could hack into my phone. It doesn't matter what you do, what decisions you make, whether you turn location services on or off, they can still get in.
You say even though if you're getting dressed or whatever, they can have access to your camera on your phone?
Yeah, so think about this. So with just the phone number, they were able to access my phone. So can I borrow your phone for a second because I didn't bring mine?
Yeah.
So my phone looked just like this. It didn't light up. No light came on.
Yeah.
And they were able to watch me and listen to me. So imagine you take your phone into a meeting, you place it on the desk. You take your phone, when you're getting dressed in the morning. They could be watching you and you wouldn't know.
Did you know that? Did they tell you at the store when you bought your Big Brother phone that it's a Big Brother phone? Anybody can hack into it. We all have to have one. And it's on a global network. They don't just get your data, they get your email, your financial information. They could turn on your camera, listen, watch everything. I'm not joking when I say this. Sometimes us prophecy speakers, some of the conferences we've been around, behind the scenes, when we start talking about some sensitive data, you know what we do? We stick these phones underneath the cushions in the couch. So you're going to get nothing but a black screen, and you're going to hear this laugh, but it's no joke. How in the world is this guy going to do it? How are they going to know where people are at to take them out if they obey? How are they going to give out an order, an alert on a global basis for people to worship? How are they going to know what people do? Folks, this is what's going on. And this is so much information, and it's on a global scale. You can't hire enough humans to monitor this. But you know what can and is being used to monitor it all? AI. And Trump's Stargate program, $500 billion, is going to bring it even faster. I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose. I'm just saying, can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? We talked about some of the concerns with the Biden administration. Why can't we talk about this? We're truth tellers. We're Christians. But what if you get outside your house? Well, they thought of that too. You may have heard of these things. Smart cities. And basically, smart cities is what they're turning a lot of cities into. Sometimes they're called 15-minute cities, whatever, but smart cities. And as you can see, as it implies, it's going to be everything in that city, not just your house, but if you go outside your house, the whole city is going to be bugged. Everything is going to have a microchip on it. Everything will be monitored. And of course, they picture it as it's going to be the most convenient city you could ever live in. As you can see here, watch this.
Throughout the annals of science fiction, future cities are typically dystopias. Think of the bleak lives of city dwellers in Blade Runner, Metropolis, or The Caves of Steel. Recent projections show that by 2050, 2/3 of the global population will live in cities, which makes it imperative that our future cities aren't vast urban hellscapes, but are instead smart urban centers with a dash of sci-fi, devices, roads, and lampposts all talking to each other, making life in cities safer and smoother. And this transformation is already beginning. A smart city is a place where items around town are connected. Streets, buildings, personal devices, cars, power grids, all sending data back and forth, passively working together to improve the community. Imagine public buses that trigger sensors in the roads, providing a real-time ETA. Streetlights that dim or brighten depending on foot traffic. Stoplights warning of an accident ahead. At the core, a smart city needs two things: sensors to collect data, and the connectivity to send and receive it. Some cities were early on the connectivity part, like Barcelona, which has had fiber optic cables embedded below its streets for more than 30 years. Meanwhile, sensors have become smaller, cheaper, and more powerful, giving rise to the Internet of Things. It's no wonder that the number of connected devices jumped to 8.4 billion in 2017, an increase of 1/3 in a single year. With these two major technological pieces in place, spots around the globe are launching large-scale smart city projects. In Barcelona, sensor-embedded parking spots connect with an app that directs drivers to available spaces. Street lamps brighten automatically, and they're part of Barcelona's Wi-Fi network, providing free internet access across the city. Similar smart city projects are underway in cities like Stockholm, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, and Columbus, Ohio. Some focusing on energy usage, others on safety or public transportation, but all hoping to make life in cities that much better.
Sure thing, Wally. That much better. I don't think so. Notice how they end it. Picture the whole world, because that's the plan. The whole world will be like this. Monitored like a rat in a cage. If you make it outside your house, you're still being monitored. And then go back to the text. What did Jesus say? He said, don't go back to your house. I think that's getting pretty obvious. Big brother paradise. You can't hide there. What did he say was the only option to do? Where's the mountains? Outside the cities. You know, where they haven't installed this yet. Interesting. Which leads us to the third and final thing that I'm concerned about, and that's AI smart policing. This is where we're at now. Because everything we saw has already been put into play. Everything we saw is already being monitored by AI on a global basis around the world. Smart homes, smart TVs, smart phones, smart cities, but it lacks one thing. It needs some sort of global authoritarian real-time response to those who disobey, right? You can't just, in Revelation 13, they can't just monitor people. Okay, that's great. We know exactly where they're at. We know exactly what they did. We know exactly what they said. We know exactly how they responded. Now what? Well, you got to have an authoritarian response to go take them out, right? That is already being put into place. AI is monitoring all these systems in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, around the world to create what's called predictive policing. To the point where the goal is they're going to know whether somebody does something bad before they even do it. Sound like a movie? It is. But it's becoming our reality. And the first step was they allowed AI to get access to all these systems, including the CCTV camera systems, all the cameras in restaurants, in parks, in businesses, in streets, including the microphones that have been installed. Did you hear about that? And AI is monitoring us all the time around the world. Watch this.
Just imagine standing at that very bus stop, having a conversation with your friend, and having no idea that your conversation was being recorded. It happens all the time, and the FBI says that they don't even need a warrant to do it.
They plant microphones under rocks, they plant microphones in trees, they plant microphones in equipment. I mean, there's microphones that are planted in places that people don't think about because that's the intent.
Some companies this morning are starting to monitor their employees more closely than ever. A recent New York Times article highlights the technology allowing your performance to be tracked in real time. Nick, good morning. I have to say, this kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. But just explain the technology here. How does this work?
There's a lot of technology going on, but what companies are doing is they're tracking their employees when they come in, when they leave, when they take breaks. That's the sort of most basic level. A lot of companies are also tracking employees through apps on their phones. When they leave, they can be aware of where they go.
Now, more than ever, our privacy is under attack because there are tiny hidden cameras watching and recording us all the time, everywhere, even in our most intimate moments without our knowledge. These tiny cameras are found all the time in dressing rooms, hotel rooms, public bathrooms, apartments, locker rooms, and places you didn't think possible.
In Oxford, surveillance cameras everywhere. And now, in a city council scheme, taxis will become the latest targets of state bugging operations. Over the next few years, licensed cabs will be required to install equipment monitoring both driver and passenger.
It's a fact of life in towns and cities across the UK that you're being watched wherever you go, on the high street, in shops, on public transport.
Buses already have video and sound recording. Taxi passengers will be recorded too.
Watchful police cameras like these have some people thinking Big Brother. To others, they are a dazzling new crime-fighting tool. Cameras big and small seem to be almost everywhere. The live footage is watched around the clock at a city command center, police and fire, and people on the lookout for threats of terrorism. Hundreds of privately owned cameras on office buildings, shops, and restaurants also looped into the system. Now, more cameras are going in. Police say so-called covert cameras may be next, as small as a box of matches.
Traffic cameras are nothing new. For years, you could walk from one end of downtown to the other without ever being out of range. What's new with the new cameras is that they can pivot to follow an individual or zoom in for a positive ID.
Do you ever feel like someone's watching you? Well, if you're a UK citizen, the government is attempting to step up its public surveillance policy and even snooping on your personal emails. Despite CCTV cameras already a major fact of UK life, there's now plans to store personal data, including information from social networking sites.
Soon you could be watched everywhere you go in the UK, even where the cameras can't see you. All your emails, texts and phone calls will be monitored under a new anti-terror spy plan. The government will know which websites you visit. It'll even snoop on your private Facebook messages.
Surveillance cameras, car cameras, cell phone cameras. They record countless hours of video, huge amounts of data. Much of it ends up on servers. They can follow a subject across cameras.
With this new technology, anyone searching the videos would be able to spot me, even as I moved from camera to camera to camera.
Did you know that? Everywhere we go, AI is monitoring and can tie, and it literally jumps from one camera to the next, and you're being trailed wherever you go. What does that sound like? It sounds like this movie, folks.
A road diverges in the desert. Lexus. The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled. Make sure you
Good evening. You can move the old-fashioned
John Anderton.
20 Night Stands provides gourmet cuisine. John Anderton. You can use a Guinness right about now. Stressed out, John Anderton?
Escape from it all, Harrison. Get away, John Anderton. Forget your troubles.
He's been identified on the Metro. The train makes 2 stops at 20th and 33rd.
Send units to each location.
You can run, but you can't hide. Your only option is you better flee to the mountains. This is crazy. What else was in that movie, though? Yes, it was a seamless tracking system. Wherever you went, everything was monitoring you. And with AI. And what was the other aspect? What was the other creepy aspect of that Minority Report movie? They had something called pre-crime. And all this monitoring allowed them to build databases on people to the point where they were so confident that, hey, we're going to be able to predict bad behavior before it happens. That's already here, too. It's like somebody's following a script. Threat of mass shootings give rise to artificial intelligence-powered cameras. And here's what they want to do with it. This is a direct quote, folks. What we're really looking for are those things that help us identify things before they occur so we can react faster. You know of a recent event that they wish they knew before? It will look at the expression on people's faces and their mannerisms to be able to tell if they look violent. Retailers can spot shoplifters in real time, alert security to warn of a potential, you haven't done anything yet, a potential shoplifter. They will be able to predict bad behavior. That's the other aspect of this movie. Remember this scene?
Good luck, John.
Any contractions?
Only the ones you give me.
Okay, Jed, what's coming?
Red Ball, double homicide, 1 male, 1 female. Killer's male, white, 40s. Agatha nailed the time frame at 8:04 a.m. The twins are a little fuzzy on that, so we'll need confirmation.
Send a DCPD blue and white. Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route. Look at me. Look at me. Positive for Howard Marks. Mr. Marks, by mandate of the District of Columbia Pre-Crime Division, I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks and Donald Dubin that was to take place today, April 22nd, at 0800 hours, 4 minutes.
No, I didn't do anything. Don't put that halo on me! Sarah!
Put your hand on your head.
Help me!
Well, let's not kid ourselves. We are arresting individuals who have broken no law.
But they will. The commission of the crime itself is absolute metaphysics. The pre-congs see the future, and they're never wrong.
Oh, yeah, they're never wrong. Computers and AI, they always get it right. Remember that scene? They're putting it into play. This is over in England, where we just came from. Real life, they don't even hide it. Watch this. Real life Minority Report cops use AI to predict violent crime before it happens. Quote, British police want to use AI for highlighting who is at risk of becoming a criminal before they've actually committed any crime. Quote, it sounds like a dystopian nightmare. Yeah. Sounds like Hollywood once again has prepared us for what's coming. But not in America. Yeah, there was a system already installed in LA. Watch this.
Police in Los Angeles are trying to predict the future.
We know where crime happened yesterday, but where is it going to happen tomorrow and the next day?
And they're not